Go in Cubby and Magical here.
No,
Who's still the super sleuth?
It's Sherlock Magical and
Sherlock
Mr. Cubby.
Magical.
And Dr. Cubby. That's right, Dr. Cubby, because it's Dr.
Wow,
Watson.
you gave him the title. You gave him the title.
Yeah.
Do you have anything super sleuth for getting to talk to Tactical? Did you find anything interesting? Any clues?
I liked when he said that the haters are delusional. That made me laugh. That was amazing.
No,
that was amazing. It was. I just love that. I love that.
You know what? I talked about Tactical. When I think of great moments in LCS, I think about him stepping up and finding angles that no one else can see. That, for me, is confidence and swagger. Love seeing some of that swagger come back. I know it's been a tough split. It's easy to lose your confidence when you're losing in LCS and then now playing in Academy. Glad to see the Tactical still has some of that. Want to see more out of them, more out of that, and that side of him, as long as he's playing with us in Academy. Because I love when he steps up and is able to make plays. That's really when Tactical is something special.
Yeah, it absolutely is. It's just, I've got a little bit like a smile within a smile here because I just got to interview Tactical and I'm giddy. All right, I'm giddy. Anyways, we got to move on to the next series of the day: FlyQuest Academy versus Evil Geniuses Academy, and this one's gonna be a fun one with the rise of Evil Geniuses and some of the downfalls that we've seen from FlyQuest Academy in recency, at least. But I want to go ahead and bring up at least the standings to this point in Academy, especially with the updated from the beginning of the day here, and see kind of where we have ourselves working out, Cubby.
Well, as you can see, this is actually a match that has some stakes to it. EG looking to get that top 6 position that is so important and making sure that you are immediately seated into the double elimination bracket and avoid a best of 3 against an amateur team. EG has a good chance to make up some progress here going up against FlyQuest. They're 2 games behind them. They could even the score by the end of this best of 2 if they take a 2-0. And EG, they've been on a hot streak.
Also, a little bit of spoilers for what's happening on the Academy channel. If you're not already watching that, by the way, you should go watch that at twitch.tv/academy. IMT did, in fact, 2-0 Golden Guardians Academy, which means if Evil Geniuses pick up a 2-0 here, those 3 teams would all be tied for that 6th slot, and only one of them can achieve it.
I saw a tweet about Pretty Talia, so not surprised it's a 2-0.
True.
He's so good.
Hey, they tried the Nico yesterday. Not going to it today. It's the Talia. It's fun. I know it was for Joey and different for Pretty, but hey, you know what it is. Anyways, we got to focus back on today's series as we are into FlyQuest Academy versus Evil Geniuses Academy. Nice to get a little bit of a check-in on those positions. Obviously, top 10. Does get into proving grounds just in different fashions in their own right. But for this one, FlyQuest Academy, I think we've talked up UG so much on this roster because rightfully so. He has been a cornerstone to the development of the roster along the lines of getting to see Spyrax perform well. When they are in sync, these 2 guys are absolutely insane. And as a whole, I think we've seen some of the good and some of the bad recently, at least in FlyQuest Academy's track record here, Magical.
And the thing is, when I look at how FlyQuest have been, it's UG, I think, still is playing phenomenally. You look at a lot of his pathing, a lot of his decision-making. Honestly, if it was just him and we were only looking at him as the whole team, you'd be like, yeah, this team wins every game, right? And then you see what's happening around him. And to me, what's the problem is it seems like that communication they had at the beginning of the split when they were all on the same page that they had developed all through spring. It's been gone. Just losing Philip seems to have lost them a lot of that cohesion that they once had.
I think that's an interesting conversation in its own right, but it's also just like you can say what you want about that cohesion being gone for one piece, but I think you also need to look at the step up from all the other pieces, right? Why is it that one piece has made a big difference in this roster, and why does bringing down Kumo change things within the chemistry of the roster itself? But on the other side, speaking of chemistry, I mean, you're in at least advanced chemistry class over here now because things are starting to heat up. Things are starting to turn on. We got a 2-0 victory from them, and we're trying to see if the turn on is here for Evil Geniuses Academy. And in its own right, a very interesting story on the split. A lot of downs early on, but hey, it doesn't matter as long as you're picking it up in time for proving grounds.
Lennon, I'm hearing that you deduce that this series will be a banger.
I mean, that might be what I'm saying. I don't know. You're going to have to use your clues to find out.
For me, you say advanced chemistry. How about some organic chemistry? Some OChem?
I have.
No, hold on. It really feels like
I like where Cubby's going on this.
It feels like this team is organically playing together, which took a long time to happen. But here we are, and I get to finally sing some praises for EG, talk about how there's talent on this roster, and how they're living up to it. That's been a conversation
No one's
I've
ever
been able to
doubted
really
that they've
talk
had
about.
talent, though.
Yeah, well, no one's questioned that, but the second part, I haven't been able to talk about that. It feels like the majority of the year. Whereas this team, they have game plans that are together. They're executing them on the map. They're actually playing as a team. The TP flanks from Surdy are great, and his landing being self-sufficient is fantastic. Cowrie is playing more to the level that I expect Cowrie to be at as a TCL MVP. We have very high expectations for him. This team is actually stepping up, but they've done so against some weaker competition. And it's a good chance to do that against FlyQuest and cement themselves as a team that should be in the conversation for top 6 as we move closer to proving grounds.
Yeah, and you have to put a specific spotlight on the man, the myth, the legend, Surdy in the top lane as well, because this guy has been pulling out all the stops, it feels like. And obviously a lot of the team stepping up, as you were saying, but it's really nice to see Surdy himself shining and flexing in his own way, I guess, in his own picks, in his own style.
And I really think that Surdy has come into his own the past couple weeks, and I think it's been more than just, on the Rift. I love seeing Surdy. He's been firing off some hard tweets, some honest takes in the books of Surdy, and I asked Surdy about it yesterday. I was like, hey, what led to this? And he's like, I felt like I was putting too much pressure on myself to perform. And this is a part of the way that I can kind of release some of that pressure, have fun. And then also, there is a part where you're holding yourself accountable to the fans to kind of play up to that. And to be fair, Surdy has done just that. This play from yesterday's series against IMT was insane. It was so good. He gets the solo kill, immediately TP flanks, and drives home a number advantage for EG. And these are the team plays that they've been lacking for this year. So it's been really great to see EG step up in the later half of our season.
There's 2 reasons I like the play, too. Yeah. Not only the solo kill, well, it's 3. Not only the solo kill, not only the flank, but the fact that with the solo kill, what does he deny that could have been on the other side? Cannon barrage. There was no cannon barrage to make the fight more split and a lot more difficult for Evil Geniuses. I think there's so much in just that little bit of momentum and the little play from Surdy in the top lane that makes it all come together.
So you just like the solo kill. Just like it more.
That's it. That's just
that's what I'm deducing here.
You can get solo killed and still pop the cannon barrage.
That's what I'm deducing here.
True. I will say, getting to talk to Surdy, we did a little interview, which we'll have snippets of on the broadcast throughout the rest of the split. It's really interesting to hear the background. Right? I'm all about emotion. I'm all about feelings for players, and especially mentality when it comes to competitive nature. And hearing Surdy's side of it and hearing the background, I loved it. I love this guy's mentality. So I'm very excited to see if he can, pick it up in this series, especially against the rising star, I guess, to some extent this year that we've seen on FlyQuest Academy in UG. And as we look through some of the plays from this guy, Cubby, we got to talk about how this jungler has made FlyQuest function.
A lot of these clips, though, for me, are from earlier in the year. And I think that for FlyQuest and UG, I still feel like UG is this real mechanical freak we can see in this play as he answers the counter gank, the smite on the minion to make sure the stun connects, cleaning up. It's so clean. And we do see moments like this from UG. I just want to see FlyQuest be on the same page in team fights. It really feels like FlyQuest are, lacking that trigger pull, lacking the cohesiveness that we saw from them earlier in the season. And I think it's really hurting them. Their identity, when I thought of them before, was that, hey, they're a team, they might get behind in the earlier stages of the game. They're going to make really good decisions as the game moves on and to give themselves chances to win later and team fight well. I don't see that anymore. Their team fights are very split, not on the same page. They're getting just really controlled by whatever team they face. And I want to see FlyQuest break out of that today against EG.
Right, because we've seen glimpses of them actually breaking out of that mold. Like, if you look back to last week when they played against Golden Guardians, granted, it's Golden Guardians, but they have the capability still. We just need to see it more consistently.
Yeah, we do indeed. It is time for Champ Select, though, as we are kicking off our second series of the day. Let's go ahead and get to it, gentlemen, as I bid adieu to our doctor and Mr. Watson. I don't know how that goes.
It's Sherlock Holmes and Dr. Watson. Come on, Lennon. You should know this by now as we get a dive in to Champion Select again. But this time, there's so many stakes that rely on this game, where before, DSM getting the 1-1, it's great for them. But they still have a nigh impossible task to see if they can somehow get out of the bottom 4. But these two teams are, in fact, battling for that final 6th position, with Immortals having got that 2-0 as well. They could tie this up. They could make the 3-way tie. If Evil Geniuses pick up a 2-0 in this game, that is a huge impact on how the standings will unfold.
And it would be a 4-0 week for EG against the two teams that they would be tied with, as they 2-0'd IMT yesterday. So it is really big that EG can continue to step up and play the way that we've been seeing them play. It's been very exciting for all of us. Again, we have high expectations for this team. We don't feel like they've really met them. To see them now meet that later in the season and in the style in which they've done so is very positive. And a big part of that, it's been Surdy blinding his champion and playing the matchup in a self-sufficient manner where he's still able to find advantages on his own. Looks like that's going to continue here against FlyQuest, since that's a first pick Gnar.
I'll be honest, not the biggest fan of a first pick Gnar. I always
Aggressive.
think that's one of those champions that can easily get countered, but I think he's trying to read his competition in Kumo, who's generally played a lot better on more of the tanks, trying to facilitate the rest of the team. If you think about his Ornn, usually that's when we see the most power coming in from this top lane to really try to build up the rest of the team.
His Trinimir has been pretty fantastic too, so I'll give him
It's
that.
fantastic in lane. The problem with that is that how do you then translate that into the rest of the team? How do you then unfold that to make sure that Spyrex is now getting ahead, that Tomo is getting ahead? And this is also why I don't like the blind Gnar, by the way, because then it leaves Silas open to pick up early.
See, that ends up going in the hands of Spyrax or elsewhere, as Spyrax, of course, does have that rather deep champion pool. EG has a chance now to get their hands on a Tomio Viego. It's been really big for Tomio in their run. And we'll see if that ends up being the call. Poppy's taken off the table. Tomio would be blinding his jungler. But if you pair it up with Lissandra, something else that has been Saligo's best champion. Saligo's 5-2 on the list. He's been great in the 2 losses on it as well. This gives EG a lot of direction playing off of that Frozen Tomb. We'll see if he's able to sync up with Tomio. It's been a good combo for him.
I feel like the Lissandra enables Saligo to be more of the shot caller, more of the ones who, because we saw that last split. That's kind of what his role was meant to be. He found it a little bit difficult to try to play that and also carry in the mid game, in the mid lane. But now with Lissandra, he can still be more of a captain in the role. He can make shot calls and also still be able to do a lot of damage while keeping himself relatively safe.
Early game prio here for EG with that list Viego, whereas it looks like on the side of FlyQuest, they're still going to hold that Silas flex, and they have a marksman, so they can take some away from the side of EG they don't want to face. EG, curious where their bans go. Maybe we see a couple counters that could be used against the Gnar. You can always throw out a couple bans to maybe protect that with Sonder if you think Silas could go top in this matchup. It's something that we have yet to see Kumo pilot, but something I would not be surprised if he played, as a lot of top laners are adjusting. At the moment, in order to make sure those bans land, looks like they're going to take out a couple supports that they think could be 5-pick. Because I am expecting FlyQuest to save that 5-pick for Diamond.
I am too, because Diamond has a very deep champion pool as well. Like, we look at players that have lane swapped from previous roles. He was once marksman and once a mid laner. Now that he's in the supportive role, and he has been for quite some time, he still holds on to that ability to really be flexible in how he plays. And in fact, is exactly as you called out, with that Yone pick, there's still the flex for the side of FlyQuest. Yone could be top or mid.
I think it's Spyrax Yone.
I think so too.
Just given it's Spyrax, Yone's been a champ that's been really good in Academy this year, guys. Yone, his win rate in this league, it's he's 7-2 across Academy this summer. So been really big, as the marksman pool has been taken out a lot, and that's going to be the new adjusted Sivir that we have on 12-13, making her way
and readjusted
onto the Rift. Yes. Adjusted and hotfixed, as it will be making its way out of the Rift. We'll see what kind of pairing we have. We don't usually see Smoothie on a Yuumi. Yuumi could be pretty good this game, honestly.
I think so. With what they have right now, that actually would be a very powerful lane, especially against something like Aphelios. It's going to make it really difficult for them to do too much, but Smoothie seems to be more comfortable. Oh, no, there it is. Okay, going for still an Enchanter.
Okay, I like the Karma. That's a little bit harder to counter than the Yuumi.
Yeah.
As it is a Yuumi, you can't just try and play it really fast, as this means
That bot
Diamond.
lane's just poke, poke, poke.
Yeah, we'll be digging deep. We'll see if we get anything crazy. Could be, you know, like something like a Blitzcrank or an Alistar. Alistar's really bad into Karma, but it's good into Sivir. See if this is the answer here.
We've been seeing a lot of it as well in Champions
Locked
queue.
in.
So there we go.
I like Alistar. I think that as mid is starting to play faster, with, you know, picks like Silas, like Lissandra climbing in priority, we have teams now opting for more engaged support because they can help snowball mid with all the CC they bring and the damage they bring in the earlier stages of the game. So really feels like that is the play here for FlyQuest. As I lied, looks like it's going to be that Yone top and the Silas
You lied,
mid.
but I speak the truth. That's what it is, Cubby.
You deducted it correctly, Mad Magical.
It's
just like you
elementary,
did the
my
dragon.
dear Cubby. You just had to
Yes.
look at how their playstyles have been. Kumo has been playing far more of the AD champions in the top lane or tanks. He hasn't
No,
really
Yone,
been
though.
falling back onto a lot of those more mage styles in the top lane, despite the fact that Silas is a really good pick into Gnar. I also think Silas is a pretty good pick into Lissandra.
Yeah, you can steal that ult. It's big. I think it is worth noting. This is going to be the first Silas for the side of Spyrax this split. So he continues to expand that champion pool. And
That's
we'll
what
see.
I was about to say. If we look at Spyrax, how deep does his champion pool really go? We've talked about this before back when he was in Collegiate, how many different styles he can play, and we got to see a new style here on the Rift for our first game, with the matches meaning the most for both of these teams. Losing a game for FlyQuest means they're one step closer to finding themselves in the bottom four, but Evil Geniuses, this could put them bouncing back in a massive way, and a 4-0 week might just be able to save their lives.
And I think for the side of EG, all eyes for me go into this early game. What can Tomio do on this Viego, and how can he support his lanes? Because I see a Lissandra, I see a Gnar. These are champs that have a lot of playmaking early. You can play off the CC, but as time goes on, if you can't take Yone, take Silas out of the fight, I really like FlyQuest in the later stages here. As I don't know if Sivir is going to be enough to break it or not, especially going into the FLYA. So I think it's really important that EG can utilize the early priority they're going to have in the mid lane to make plays in sides and get themselves an early lead.
We've seen Evil Geniuses draft this way many times. We went for much more of a mid-game kind of style, steamrolling from there. But the problem has always been executing the victory and closing out the games. Yesterday gave us a good glimpse that they are more than capable of doing so once they get those early leads. Just always about being on that same page, continue to play as the roster that everyone has been building up as you guys for so long.
And I like this late invade from EG, already showing some aggression. This is spotted. Might have a smite forced out from Tomio. Just going to make sure that he's able to grab that. But I think Tomio is going to continue.
Yeah, just going to go for vertical jungle at the moment. It also delays Tomo and Diamond from getting into the lane.
Yuji's coming.
Yeah, Yuji's coming, but Cowrie's already been in the lane. He can easily rotate around and has denied a lot of
got no
experience to
smite.
both Diamond and to
Yuji has a
Tomo.
smite.
As Yuji has a smite, could contest around it, but instead wants to get a lot more damage on a Tomo.
Okay, I like that from Yuji. He's going to protect his Gromp. I think if he fought the Gromp instead of Tomio, he could have really had an accelerated path at the moment. We could have the scoreboard dropped and then put back up too, so we can see the CS. That'd be great from our observers here. EE helping us out. But, hey, I will say Yuji protecting his camps does have the opportunity now to reverse clear and attack Tomio if he does so like. Trundle very powerful in the Viego rule.
So I'm getting some signs. This might be a bit early, but I'm feeling it's going to be a Cloud Soul.
Oh, you're just going for the 1 in 5 chance.
Yeah,
or
yeah,
1 in 4.
Yeah, it got a feeling. We'll see.
right.
We'll see if it's. I'll laugh if it's the next dragon. So it's like, okay, well, you did have a feeling that was coming up.
Oh boy, Yuji hit level 3.
So
Could be big.
He's
You can
got
cancel
claw.
like
He
a
can
path.
easily get out there. Nice
Yeah.
cancel there. The flash away. So Ligo, he'll be chomped apart. Giving the kill over to Spyrax. No, Yuji said, "This is my gold."
Very clean from Yuji and Spyrax as you have the Abscond Abduct and the Pillar to try and cancel the Glacial Path. They each do so successfully as it is the Pillar into the Silas Sea that prevents Ligo from getting out and makes sure First Blood connects for FlyQuest.
Having Yuji already start off the races as well as Spyrax, these rookies have been a big point of the successes FlyQuest has been able to get games, and a lot of their victories has been around these two players, not around their veterans, but Spyrax and Yuji pathing around and playing with one another has been absolutely immaculate for their victories.
while that went down, we did have Cowrie take a 3-wave base, grab a Cole. Saw Tactical do that in the last game. Very nice for the marksman. You only miss out on a creep or two, and then you can fight when the wave is pushing into you to try and force the other lane out while it is a freeze. See if Cowrie ends up opting for that.
Cowrie might just go for the freeze. It is a little difficult as Sivir, but I feel more than confident with him. Top lane, Surdy getting chunked out pretty well by Kumo. Kumo is actually getting the better end of a lot of these trades as they're more extended. So I'm curious with Surdy. He had opted into the blind Gnar. Going up against Kumo's Yone. How do you think this matchup's going to eventually pan out?
It's very Yone favored. And honestly, Surdy's doing a decent job early. As when you go mini, you always have to be careful of the windows that Yone can go aggressive. As at the moment, you can see Cowrie does have an item advantage to talk about trying to make sure that you can get freeze off here as Saligo.
Okay, that time he gets the claw
He's good.
out.
He's good.
He's fine. He's good. Tomo though, not Tomo, Kumo though, looking for Surdy in the top lane, getting a little bit of damage. Well, you go back to mid lane. Saligo went out and took a lot of damage there from Spyrex, and guess who's still in the vicinity? It's Yuji. He spots out Tomio on Raptors. Might even be able to smite away, take some for himself. I don't think he was able to get the smite. It is going to be a fight over every last chicken nugget while they skirmish in the jungle, and this is Trundle favored. It's difficult to fight against him. Now that you have the pillar laid down, you have to back out.
Really like how Yuji and Spyrax are playing around each other early. This is one way you can utilize Silas, as if you get flash out of the mid laner, you can go very aggressive. He can go mega.
Solo, but almost has him. Does he flash?
Oh! Woo-hoo! All right, both top laners, we're just fighting to the death, and Kumo able to guess the flash of Surdy, gets him. That was fun. That was clean. Well played by Kumo on the top side.
You know, Kumo sometimes it just pops off like that, and it is fun to watch. We saw Bradley earlier do that with Gangplank. Now we get to see Kumo with the flash read onto Surdy, barely getting the kill.
It was very close for Surdy as he was about to go mega, almost had access to 6. Will sidestep the ult. Well played from Surdy. Man, I feel bad. I like the fact Surdy went for that. I feel like it was so close, but God, Kumo he guessed the flash, and he got it. He connected. Really well done.
And we're seeing the power of Kumo on these 80 champions, knowing and playing them so well. I just want to watch this and just enjoy it.
I mean, it's pretty good from Surdy. I think if he dodges out on that Q, he might hit it. Because again, he's about to go mega. Oh, Kumo hits another Q. Surdy knows that with the Rang, it's close, and that Kumo's going to go fish. And he almost has mega. Oh.
It's the read, though. It's that read.
Wow. It just flashed a tad early. Kumo able to flash and get him. Well done from Kumo.
Honestly, I think that was not a personal dilemma, but a game theory kind of play, because no matter where he flashed, it was going to be read by Kumo. Even if he flashed later, it was difficult because he was going straight to Surdy's positioning. Now
this is given reaction times, though. You can at least force like a 50-50.
Right, you can force the 50-50. That would be the best bet.
Boy.
Because now, but that's still an ult. Surdy, he's in a little bit of danger. Spyrex, Diamond, and Yuji too. Man, they're calling the full Goon Squad up here.
Yeah, 4. It won't matter if it's mega or not. But you can see EG, they're going to try and answer.
Yeah, they're going for it. They got that gone.
Oh, no.
Gnar ult into the wall.
The shield?
To take down a kill. Spyrex is still alive, barely. The turret was not able to take him down.
Well done by the side of FlyQuest, as the pillar that came in, that's prevented Saligo from being able to catch up and try and find a counterplay, as not only does Kubo find the solo kill, but also is able to call up his team. That another advantage for the side of FlyQuest. Really good start for them.
As we have a duel in the bot lane. Tomo getting the better end of that one over Cowrie, but not by much. And yeah, let's shift our attention back to the top lane, because that play was just a nice dive from FlyQuest in general.
It was clean.
It was very clean.
It was clean. It was well done. And I mean, this is a FlyQuest that we just have been lacking. Besides the 2-0 over GGA, the weakest team that we have in Academy, FlyQuest has really been on a slide. I believe the record is 2-13 in their last 15 games. It's been tough. And I mean, this is a FlyQuest where it looks like they're on the same page. They're making plays, not only as individuals, but also as a team. Want to see more out of more like this out of them.
Yeah, Kumo gets a good trade against Surdy again. He's really taken the force back to Surdy, saying, all right, we got you dead twice. If I can get it a third time, Gnar, not going to be important.
This is a matchup for Yone where you can win the lane. Like it's a skill check, but once you get an item or two, it's very, very Yone favored. So the fact that Kumo's ahead at this point is huge. And now Surdy's mini. Whenever your mini has Dinar, you're always under threat. You can see Kumo consistently eating forward, looking to poke with the Q, get that bonus damage down. As that will be enough to get the wave in. And should be a clean Rift Herald here for the side of FlyQuest. And this is big. I mean, EGA, we said when we spawned into this game at match, but we wanted to see them make early plays with Lissandra. They haven't been able to do anything yet.
No, UG has been running them around the map. I gotta give a lot of the successes they've gained off of how he has pathed, how he has played, trying to get control over Tomio to deny him from ever being able to team up with Silico.
Late Dragon being taken here by the side of EG, but should be theirs. This Rift Herald was just taken by FlyQuest, and it was a base for UG. This top lane, you can look up here. It's always going to be exciting.
Oh, went for the Fate Seal to try to seal the fate of Surdy again. Unfortunately, just went a little bit wide. Now that Surdy has ult available, could be troublesome, but now we turn our attention back to the bot lane. UG will show up. I'm surprised he didn't take out the control ward, but instead, this path is back to blue. Oh my god. It's what I thought was happening. Look at the dragon.
Oh.
All right, well,
1 for 2.
Okay, I went for the YOLO.
You did. You want to change it?
I should get a second chance.
Oh, hold on.
Hold on, we can't, because right there, Diamond just died. He doesn't even have ult yet.
Diamond has been roaming. That was part of the cost for making that play top, but UG is going to let them get out for free.
They still have on the hunt, so that's the thing. It's going to be tough to chase them down, especially with the extra damage that you get now from on the hunt.
I don't think he had mana for it, but yeah, Sivir. I mean, a lot of Sivir changes on 12-13. If you guys are not familiar, her E doesn't grant mana anymore. The spell shield actually grants health on the hunt. It keeps on lasting if you get kills and assists, and it reduces the cooldowns on her basic abilities. So you have more boomerang blades and ricochets as well.
All right, so my second guess would have been Mountain.
Okay, that's fair.
So
I mean, Mountain worked last game. You might as well stick to your guns.
Yeah. You never know.
I'm down. We'll count it. You went for the Hail Mary. I respect it.
Yeah.
You know.
Hey, I was feeling Cloud, and it was Cloud, the next dragon.
That's
so
true.
I wasn't wrong, in a sense, but you know I'm still wrong. Anyways, back onto what's happening onto the map. We look at how much control FlyQuest has been able to get off of those plays, and honestly, I'm not seeing too much. They're even gold. They look for this play on Absurdity getting a lot of damage. It's more Yuji who has to show up to make sure this works, but I don't think... Oh, that read! Kumo again, man!
Oh my god, Kumo, what a game from him. He's someone that I was critical of yesterday, said that I think that Kumo needs to be stepping up for this team in order for FlyQuest to see more success. Yeah, here we go. Kumo's been massive this game. Gonna take down Surdy and take down first brick for FlyQuest.
2 reads, 2 excellent reads from Kumo. That was impressive, if I gotta say so myself. Seeing him on Yone is a treat. It's almost like when we got to see him on that Tryndamere, how well he performed on the champion. It seems these AD champions are really where he feels the most comfortable.
And what we want to see now from Kumo that, you know, was missing in a couple of those Tryndamere games was taking this lead and driving it home across the map. He was able to get shove as the Tryndamere in a couple of the games where he got really fed. There was one game actually early on where he destroyed EG with Tryndamere around Baron in a couple team fights. We'll see if Kumo can take over this game because he is a huge lead and will be a menace in the side lane. Neither Lissandra or Gnar can deal with him at this point. And I want to see if Kumo can use this not only to get leads in the sides, but also transition them into the team fights.
You know what I actually like even more, though, Cubby, is with this lead Kumo has for himself, it's equated by that with Yuji. Yuji has a lot of the gold. He's got 2 of the kills and an assist. He's got the same KDA as Kumo in the top lane, just a reverse. And so when I see that, I always look at Trundle, the one who needs to move around the gold. He's gotten Kumo on an island that he's perfectly... It's a fine resort for Kumo in the top lane. He pretty much just can chill out, get a drink, sit by the ocean, and never have to worry about anything. Now, you got to make sure you're getting that for other players on your team, such as the spot lane.
Oh, Tomio. He's going to get ulted, subjugate.
No, just ult and ult. They're not going to be able to get there. I know what Diamond was trying, but he was just a little late on the call. As Kumo fights again with Surdy here in the top lane, getting a good bit of damage back and forth. Attempted dive, just a little off. Well, it's because it's hard to get on top of a lane such as Sivir.
Curious to see Spyrex actually going for the crown, as crown keeps on picking up popularity.
Yeah, I don't know if I'm a big fan of it on Silas though.
Hey, if you keep it up and it's not poked off before team fights, it's big. As once that pops, you get a nice little injection of damage and safety, as Silas will be going in.
That's fair. But I feel like there's a lot of poke on the side of Evil Geniuses that's difficult to avoid. Cowrie, Saligo, you have to pretty much be on point to make sure you're getting out of every single little bit of poke. And so we're looking at this, looking at the control FlyQuest have now. It's a lot around bot lane, and this is kind of what I was asking for. Look at how much vision they have set up around this dragon that spawns in 20 seconds.
Look at all the poke that Kairi's able to connect with, too. Really nice landing coming out from him and Smoothie in the Sivir Karma lane. Tomio will try and sneak around this turret.
I think he was spotted out by that ward just barely.
I don't think so yet. Will be now. He does reveal himself, but doesn't know that Diamond and UG are here. This could be dangerous.
They're trying to bait with Tomo, using his life. And guess who's nearby too? It's Spyrex. Driving in, not going to be able to connect. That's gone unproductive with the DB coming in. Kumo, again, you can start carrying this game once more. They've got the damage on the Kairi. Use the spell shield, but he'll still die. Spyrex taking his life, while the rest of Evil Geniuses can do nothing to stop it.
And EG, this comp where it's the Sandra Viego, it's so good if you're the one starting the fights with the Frozen Tomb. They've been on the back foot for the entirety of it. FlyQuest, UG, they're the ones that are dictating the pace of the game, dictating the control on the map, and it's really prevented EG from getting off the ground with this comp that you need the snowball with.
It's Ocean.
Unlucky.
Unlucky.
One for two.
1 for 2. Hey, you know, it's still batting even right now. The expectations of probability. But anyways, let's go into the spot lane play. Kind of looking at it, it really is kind of set up by Tomo. Being low health, they feel like they can still make the play, but they don't respect that if you look mid lane, no one's there. Top lane, Long Island, easy point to TP2.
Sturdy does have the empowered TP, but doesn't have any Mega Bar, so doesn't decide to join, as all 5 members of FlyQuest show. Get the kill, take the dragon. Well done.
Well done. It's pretty simple
well
now. Kumo just got this massive lead. He's fighting against Smoothie. Nearly takes him down by himself.
And that's going to lead the second Rift Herald, being all FlyQuest. They continue to drive home this lead across the map. And FlyQuest, it feels like they're playing together on the map. This has been the big change that we wanted to see out of these guys. It's a team that, you know, it really feels like they've struggled to be playing as 5 in some of these team fights. They're very split in the decisions that they've been making. To see them be synced up in this game against EG, a team that has been playing much better since our break week, it's a really good sign for Fly.
Well, especially, like I said, there's a lot of impact in this series for both teams. FlyQuest gaining a little bit of distance, not only from Evil Geniuses, but potentially from Immortals, are big wins. If they can gain a 2-0 themselves, or even just 1 win, they stay 1 game above Immortals.
And again, that's double elimination bracket versus having to play a best of 3 to get into the double elimination phase.
You still make it to Proving Grounds. It's just about whether or not you want to go into it immediately with a single elimination.
I don't want to play a best of 3 do or die scenario. That's a no-go for me if I'm an academy team. No matter which amateur team, what kind of competition you face. As we saw last split, Maryville really gave TSM a run for their money. We'll see if that happens at all as we get closer and closer to Proving Grounds here. Fun to start talking about our games and have a couple more stakes to them. Been a while since we casted games that mattered a ton. Getting closer and closer to doing that.
Well, I mean, it's hard to when you start the season. It's like, yeah, who's going to be in first? I don't know. Does it matter? I don't know. Because it's all about the late game. It's all about the end of the season. That's when it's important right there, Tomio. Understanding that this is not the late game. It is still the mid game.
And that Trundle is still scary, as Subjugate plus Sunder can chase you down.
I miss top lane Trundle just because I like going Bork, and I like just running at the turrets and never caring about my enemy.
You should have casted a concept game today if you wanted to see top lane Trundle.
I would have loved that.
It's a favorite of concept.
I know. I know.
30. Let's see if he gets the E out. He's trying to use the fleet to build up some move speed with the mini Gnar.
Okay. I kind of like getting your read on that a little bit better just that time, since it's interesting to see with those kind of plays, trying to avoid, trying to survive, because Surdy being 0-3, you'd think that he would have just died, and now it's Saligo. He's bounced around. He couldn't even use his ult on himself, and the TP was burned by Surdy for nothing.
Spyrax so clean on the Silas, has got to play it this split, but we know he's got a deep champion pool. Keeps on showing that off. Is now Cowrie. It really feels like Cowrie has to be the one that saves this game, Mad Magical. He is the late game insurance. And Sivir late game, still very big, those ricochets. They now can bounce between enemies, which is very big for Sivir in these team fights. See if Cowrie can make the most of it.
But Smoothie getting caught out like this. He's going to die. Or is he surviving? The Fate Seal did not connect. The flash coming in from Gumo to be able to get the kill for the team. While Cowrie doing damage, getting the flash out of Diamond. They are deep. They could chase. There's Meganar flashing in. Dragging back the bot lane. They've got a kill for Cowrie. They've got 2. A shutdown for Diamond as they have now taken back the game.
And FlyQuest go way too deep to find that. Everyone tried to support Kumo, but that play was over, and they give EG a window to get much-needed gold back in their pockets. And Surdy, it's been a tough game for him, but good to see him sticking it out and finding a big play here as the Meganar that gifted his team 2 kills.
You gift your team 2 kills, you get a little bit of gold yourself, so you can bounce back better in this game. But most importantly is Cowrie. You talked about Cowrie. Cowrie is your late game insurance. Kraken Slayer was completed before that, but now finally getting a recall, that should be 2nd item. Completed for Cowrie. I think it's the 3rd item when Sivir really becomes that monster in the late game.
Oh, good night.
Good night, sweet prince.
That's a flash.
I knew you well. It's been an honor to serve you, Smoothie, as you die to the killing spree of Spyrax.
Yeah, okay, Spyrax. Pick a chain.
Goes gold. But here's Surdy. Surdy is Mega again. They've got a lot of damage on his Spyrax. He flashed away. Now goes back in. The Condor did not connect. Diamond is dying to the turret. Surdy was able to get a solo kill while the turret did fall to the Rift Herald. Surdy again is a hero in this play.
Yeah, Diamond didn't have access to ultimate, so that Meganar ended up leading to the death. But God, Spyrax played that so well to live on the backside, Mad Magical. You can see some of the value there of the Crown of the Shattered Queen. It took so long for EG to stall out before they could feel like they could use their spells to take out Spyrax. And him flashing into that brush into Fog was huge.
Ooh, now Kumo looking for Tomo. Flash away from Tomio this time to be able to survive. All the while, FlyQuest were able to get another dragon. 2nd one of the game for them. Be an Ocean Dragon. They can survive a lot of the poke, but this is where we kind of look at Evil Geniuses. Do you want to rely on poke, or you need to keep playing this way, these fast and loose team fight styles?
EG, any play that EG makes has to involve Cowrie. That's where this game's at right now.
So fast and loose is what I'm hearing.
I mean, not necessarily. It just has to be around this Sivir. As Cowrie, Kraken Slayer plus Phantom Dancer, very high DPS build from Cowrie will rely on the extra move speed and positioning to try and maximize the damage out of this short-range marksman. Once he hits IE, that's where he will really become a problem for the rest of this game. And he's already got a pickaxe on the way there. So ahead of Tomo, good sign for EG. And, you know, the early game plan for EG didn't work out. It was going to be about getting Lissandra around the map, snowballing this Viego ahead, having Surdy be self-sufficient, try to put this Yone behind on the top side. That didn't go their way, but Cowrie is that late game insurance. Has been really stepping up for EG in the past couple weeks, and has a big chance to shine in this game.
Also, I do want to praise Surdy. Starting off 0-3, how he's been able to fight these fights despite being so far behind his opponent really has set up for Cowrie to be in this position, to have the 2 items already, so they're not just down and out. They might be down 4,000 gold to FlyQuest, but they still have these avenues, these paths to find victory.
And for FlyQuest, I want to see if Tomo can position a little bit safer. His Aphelios, it's been his most played. He's 5-1 in this champ. It's been fantastic for FlyQuest this split. Oftentimes they have paired it up with Janna to help peel for Tomo.
Okay.
And now, oh boy. The only blue sweeper available for EG is on Surdy. He is not close. This could be snuck. This is gone.
He's trying to get in position, but it is way too late. They can't do anything.
Wow.
Nice play from FlyQuest, sneaking that Baron right under the nose of Evil Geniuses, who then start getting that position, but it's way too late.
Oh, man. That feels bad for EG.
That does. I mean,
Good
honestly,
sweep by FlyQuest.
right. I was about to say, props to FlyQuest for that sweep and saying, hey, you know what? They don't have blue. They don't have ways to spot out that we are on top of this right now. We have completely gotten rid of the vision that would give them that idea that maybe we're trying to sneak it away.
It was a nice bluff, as Tomo, usually if a marksman's missing, that's when he starts to call out Baron. Tomo was marking the mid wave. But hey, Kumo's fed, and look at Kumo's inventory. He was at 2 items for that Baron. You can shred Baron.
Yep.
100% crit on the Yone. It's exactly what FlyQuest did, and that's huge for them this game, is now look at how much gold they're up, 5k. They get to knock down some free objectives as well as the mid inner turret falls. Only opportunity that EG has to make plays is to stack both their solo laners in a side lane and pray that FlyQuest make a mistake.
Yeah, they were looking for Kumo, but Kumo, he plays safe. He's like, yeah, you know what? I see 3 mid. I don't see anyone bot lane answering Spyrex. I know what you're trying to do.
Oh, spots him on a ward.
Oh, Kumo. Kumo is just playing out of his mind in this game. Double stopwatch. Do you think it's going to save you, Saligo? Maybe it will now that Tomio is here. The Heartbreaker almost took down Kumo, but Kumo will survive, but so will Saligo.
No flash for Tomio. Nice bounce back, but hey, 2 members of EG spotted. More turrets fall in favor of FlyQuest as they knock down the bot inner. And again, that gold lead keeps on growing. It's 7k now.
Ooh, this is where we're getting into the territory that seems insurmountable for Evil Geniuses unless they can have a heroic play again. These inhibitor turrets are not long for this world. They'll be raised to the ground, both mid and bot.
And Spyrax has Frozen Tomb. I think that's enough. I think that EG have to seed everything else. You can see how far back Cowrie's playing. It's at least 1 inhibitor falling. So we'll see if it's another.
Okay, Kumo. Fighting with Surdy. Gnar ult into the wall. Might have a level lead, but he's got that ran to his omen, making it really difficult for you to fight back. The boulder connecting. But now the fight inside the base. They pound out Saligo with the Frozen Stolen Tomb. Even if Surdy does get that solo kill in the top lane, they lost Saligo for it. Now he's got to get back to the base to defend. Or does he? Does he want to get the objective bounty gold on this top lane? Instead, make sure they get something from that play.
Yeah, that's the only TP ward available for Surdy, and he did just burn Mega. So it will be an objective bounty, but Spyrax thinks differently.
He's TPing, saying, no way, we're not giving you any room back into the game.
I will say this could open up a window where EG could try and have a numbers advantage to fight this dragon, but just losing 2 inhibitors, no position on the map, so I like that TP from Spyrax. Prevents some bonus gold from going over to EG. Make sure that you maintain full control on the map. Takes away the answer, and EG still looking for one.
It's like that children's book, right? If you give a mouse a cookie, don't want to give them anything, because you never know when they're just going to keep coming back for more.
This is really clean from Surdy, as... Yone, later stages of the game, pretty strong, but when you're missing Flash, you're missing Fate Sealed. It does open up a window for Surdy to find an answer and down a level. It's the full combo with the Mega Gnar, able to finish the job on the top side. Surdy, again, tough start to the game, but he's been really keeping EG in it in the back half.
He's been trying his damnedest to make sure that he's bouncing back into this game, but it's still looking very dire. With 7,000 gold favoring FlyQuest, 3 dragons already picked up by them. Because that TP topside, they were the ones who got the dragon off that replay.
You see Spyrax was holding that top wave, waiting to sync things up. So now FlyQuest had both mid and top entering at the same time. Good macro from them and Spyrax.
Spyrax is looking for the angle. He hasn't stolen an ult just yet. A good one would be either Gnar or go for Lissandra like you called out before. He can't
take Lissandra again. He just grabbed the list. It's all about Gnar.
He is level 16 now. It is going to be a lot shorter of a cooldown.
That's true.
But here's their engage. They look for Tomo. Gale Force away, but Tomo's still alive. A lot of people go on golden while everyone jumps on the Cowrie. Everyone is dying. The troll toll has been paid. Yuji gifted it all to Spyrax so they can claim victory in game 1.
Yeah, he ended up going with that Gnar ult, and guess what? Threw everyone on EG into the wall, into the gray screen, and FlyQuest, a very strong game for them. Again, they've been on a big slide in Academy. Good to see them bounce back. Game 1, EG find a much-needed win and help cement themselves in that top 6 portion of our standings.
Keep themselves 1 game above Immortals Progressive Academy. At least for now, we still have another game, obviously, to go. But discussing this game and how it went, we looked towards Evil Geniuses, and we were looking for those early game plays, but a lot of that was shut down by Yuji's pathing and how well he attacked mid lane. So Saligo could never really move.
I thought it was a masterclass from Yuji and Spyrax, and again, something that we've been missing from this team. Yuji, we feel like he is still playing very strong as a jungler, but it just has been FlyQuest not able to put the pieces together. They got Spyrax ahead. Kumo stepped up huge in the top lane on his own, and despite Surdy's best efforts as this game went on, it was all FlyQuest.
All FlyQuest, and they take that first game. We're going to toss a break. When we come back, we'll have our halftime show with our host, Mazel. Make sure you stay tuned.